What's up, y'all? Welcome to Jaybird Entertainment. I'm Jay. Let me turn that down. I uh I did kind of a soft launch of this the other day, but I really wasn't feeling that well. Shouldn't have even done it. And I didn't like it. I wanted to redo everything, so here we are.
If you ask any driver at a local short track, they believe that they can get to the pinnacle of racing if they just had the right opportunity.
Sorry, I guess I can't
But
skip
in
this.
racing, you have to create your own opportunities.
Started the career now a couple times, but
He is driving away. Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets the lead. Look at Junior go.
There'll be turning points in every career.
And look at this. Earnhardt Jr. to the checkered flag in his rookie season.
The highs and the lows.
Championship contender in trouble. They make contact. Junior goes around.
But it's how you deal with those
iconic.
turning points that will define your character and push you to greatness.
But it's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father to go from 6th to 1st and score the victory in the Pepsi 400.
That's unbelievable.
Storybook ending.
How does your story begin? Will you make it to the top?
Dale Jr. going for 4 in a row at Talladega.
My new boss for 2008, Mr. Rick Hendrick.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has won the Daytona 500 for the second time.
It is now my honor to present.
I love how they asked, "Will you make it to the top?"
Hall of Fame.
Like, nah, bro.
We did exactly what
I
you
didn't
told
come
us
here
when
for
we
that.
raced. To join Dad in the Hall of Fame is probably as good as it's ever going to get.
I like Junior.
And your opportunity starts now.
For those who don't know, this dude's Dale Earnhardt Jr. His dad died in a wreck, and Dale Jr. got involved in a pretty bad accident at some point pretty far along in his career. He just was never the same after. I think it was too much of a mental hurdle for him to get over. Sad.
Hey everybody, it's
Can't
Dale
skip
Jr. back
this
again
either.
for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download with my good friend TJ Majors and the co-host of the show. We got some big news this week, TJ.
Yeah, you're probably talking about the Discovery Race deal.
Absolutely, man. This is going to be awesome, though.
Yeah, I knew when I read about it that it was going to be all you.
Yeah, I really do like this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter in this situation how much money you have, whether you got a big sponsor behind you, even manufacturer allegiances.
Look at
don't
that number
matter.
24
It's
Rainbow
the best of the
Warriors.
best. It's
That's the
everybody
GOAT.
who's anybody in short track racing at the grassroots level coming to Rockingham and trying to find a way to stand tall above the rest. And if you can go out there and perform better than anybody else, you're going to be able to come out of the local short track scene and get a shot at the ARCA Menards Series. This is every driver's dream. And they've had these before. They did the Roush Gong Show and other competitions, if you will, where they bring what they believe are the best drivers in the country to compete all for a total prize and an opportunity at the next level. So this is a lot of pressure for these young drivers, and they're going to be asked to perform at their best in this instance and prove that they belong. But it could be a life-changing experience for one.
That'll be me. Okay. All right, got to do this qualifier.
Drivers, start your engines.
go. Start it up. Away. There's the green flag. Inside door. Stay high. Inside. 3 wide. Inside now. 3 wide. Clear outside. 1 high.
Not bad, bro.
Clear low. 1 high.
This opening race right here. Oh shit, my bad. This opening race, they go so slow. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's just because for the people that have never played before.
Clear inside. 1 on the bottom. 3 wide. Clear low. Outside. Here 3 wide. Clear outside. Inside.
Rip it around the outside.
Inside now. 1 outside. Clear inside. Clear high. One low. Clear low if you want it.
But I'm pumped for this channel. A lot more excited after putting some more time and effort into getting it opened up. Spent the last 2 days figuring out Streamlabs, everything that entails. My wife and I have a podcast. We haven't done it in a long time, but luckily I've got some, you know, nicer equipment that we used for that. But just setting up Streamlabs is crazy.
Clear inside.
We get to this guy? Okay.
Great job. We're going to the ARCA Menards Series.
Success, congratulations. You've earned a new sponsor and a full-time ride in ARCA. So, for those that don't know, I know a lot of people, like, they think NASCAR and they think, oh, they're just driving in circles, and then they think, oh, it's just a bunch of rednecks. And it is a bunch of rednecks. The whole way that NASCAR got its start was from bootlegging, where you know, back during the Prohibition days, what you call it? People had to sneak beer like over county lines, and the way that they did it was by getting the super fast cars, and they would just soup their cars up so that they could outrun the cops to get away. And it turned into, oh, I've got a souped up car that can outrun the cops, and I've got a souped up car that can outrun the cops, and I bet you mine's faster than yours is. And no shit, NASCAR was born. But I still like it. Been watching it every week in the playoffs right now in real life. But right here, Daytona for the opener. That car looks so weird with like no sponsors on it.
Let's get out there. Okay, fill out the balance and bring it in for an adjustment if you need to.
One thing that sucks, I already created this paint scheme and everything, but the numbers that it lets you choose from, I mean, like, I get it. Other people already have numbers in real life, but come on, man. They only give us certain numbers to choose from, and it's like the worst numbers. NASCAR has this thing called, I think it's called, maybe it's just called the NASCAR experience, but you can pay to go drive one of these cars on a track. And I think you get like 5 laps or 10 laps or something like that. That'd be crazy, dude. Can you imagine just ripping it at 160, 170? I don't know if they actually let you go that fast or if the cars are like dumbed down, but still probably going faster than you ever have in your life. But stream title NASCAR Dawn of a New Era. This game right here, fingers crossed that it's the dawn of a new era for NASCAR console games. Man, I still can't. I can't hit that time. But yeah, it's been 10 plus years since there's been a decent console game for NASCAR. And a lot of years, like, there was no game. We'll go like 3-4 years in between having a game.
That was your best lap yet.
Nice.
Solid lap. You can call it here or stay.
But
Up to you.
I've played this game a little bit online. I've played a tiny bit of the career mode, and just the way that the car drives is miles ahead of what Heat was. Definitely Ignition. I mean, Ignition, like, I liked the way the car drove more in Ignition than Heat, but there were so many bugs in Ignition that it was literally, like, broken beyond repair. This game, I haven't really found any bugs per se.
Qualifying. Here we go. The car's in your hands now. Give us something special.
I still gotta figure out what the right settings are for the controller. I can keep it pretty much where I want to, but I still bounce around a little bit, and ooh, I'd like to be able to be more in control all the way around. Dude, this game's crazy because
Okay, this lap.
when you get loose, like, you really gotta save the car. It's not like in the old games where all you can do is continue to go full throttle and make a correction on the steering wheel. If you do that in this game, you're going around. Like, you gotta feather the throttle, brake at the right time, and make sure you don't overcorrect the car. paint scheme inspired by one of Jeff Gordon's old,
Okay, shut her down. Good effort.
one of his old Pepsi paint schemes. Probably gonna do all of my paint schemes all the way up to Cup, based off of one of Jeff Gordon's paint schemes. Just work my way down the list of favorites. How crazy is it, Devin? I don't know, like, I guess it's gotten worse in a lot of ways. Like, they have less horsepower in their cars than they used to have back in the day, which is like, that makes no sense, man. We're progressing. Like, it should be more and more horsepower all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the fans would love. I think that's what the drivers would love too. But NASCAR, for some reason, just like wants to dumb things down. And like, also back in the day, they didn't have a playoff system. It was just like, the way that it worked was that you would just accumulate points. There's 36 races in a season, and you accumulate points throughout the whole entire year, and there's no reset of the points, nothing like that. By the time the year ends, or even a few races before the year ends, depending on how the points have gone throughout the year, you already have a champion, and it's just based strictly off of who's the best throughout the entire course of a year. And then NASCAR figured that they could, make some more money by implementing a playoff system, because back in the day, if by the end of the year, the points were so spread out that there was only like 3 or 4 drivers a lot of the time by the end of the year that even had a chance to compete for the championship. Out of a 40-car field, only 3 or 4 by the end of the year have a shot. And like, I think it's the most fair that way to the drivers, but I see from a standpoint of viewership how, it's not the most exciting thing in the world to have the championship decided before the year's over. So NASCAR did the playoffs for the last 10 races of the year. They reset everybody's points to 0. Well, the top 16 cars make it to the playoffs after 26 races of the season are done. Whoever's in the top 16 for points goes to the playoffs, and from there it's 10 races, and the first round they race 3 races, and and after those 3, only 12 of the 16 drivers get to move on the next round, which is called the round of 12. And then you do 3 more races, and it cuts down to 8 cars. 3 more races cuts down to 4 cars, which puts you in the championship. 4 drivers racing for the championship, 1 race. So, oh shit, damn, my bad, bro. Damn, I fucked up. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the championship. 4 people are racing for the championship, and then whoever finishes, you don't necessarily have to win the last race. You just have to finish ahead of the other 3 drivers. So if the other 3 finish in the 20s, you can finish in 16th and be the champion for the year. And it does make it a lot more exciting all the way down to the last race. But it's just, when your driver's getting screwed by the point system, you don't want there to be a point system.
Still there?
Because sometimes it seems unfair.
Stay level.
Number 1 guy could have 2 bad races in the playoffs, and it doesn't matter that they were the best throughout the whole rest of the year. They're done for. So there's some stuff like that, I think, that has kind of made NASCAR fall off a little bit. And also, it's just,
Outside.
damn.
One on the bottom.
Damn.
3 wide. Caution's out. Pit road is open. Let us know if you want to change this strategy up.
Yeah, bro, it did not used to be this complicated at all. Get 4 tires since I've torn those up, wrecking everybody. Repair.
Bring her around. Come on in.
But, I mean, I still enjoy it.
Car's off.
Definitely not quite the same as it was back when Jeff was racing. And now I'm a Chase Elliott fan, and he's the guy who, when Jeff Gordon retired, he was the first one to drive the 24 car after Jeff. So I was like, all right, this is my guy. And then the next year he switched to number 9, and I still stuck with him anyway because I was just like, I already chose him, so I'll stay loyal.
Stay low.
And he was NASCAR. They change up their cars every handful of years. They like different generations, upgrade them. You know, well, upgrade in the eyes of NASCAR. And the last car that they had before the current one was called the Gen 6 car.
3 wide.
And Chase Elliott was really good in that car. Won a championship,
Clear outside.
won a fair amount of races, always competed for wins.
1 outside.
And then they switched to the next gen car that they're using right now, and all of that went out the window. It was crazy. Like,
White flag. Keep it up.
he's just not that good anymore.
1 outside. 3 wide. Outside now. 3 wide. 4 wide. 3 wide.
And a lot of people too just don't understand.
Clear outside.
You know, every sport you can break it down to be like football. All it is people playing catch. You know, basketball, all it is someone throwing a ball through a circle. You know, if you break it down like that, then everything sounds dumb. Like, all they do is take left turns. Like,
Outside now.
first off, there's a handful of tracks that road courses where they race.
3 wide. Clear outside. Outside door.
Not going to be a good finish.
Car low.
Where they take left and right turns.
Top 20. Good.
They even have a track in the middle of downtown Chicago. But there really is just so much more that goes into it, you know? It's a lot of... New cars are slow. Yeah, dude, the new cars are slower. Back in the day at tracks like Daytona, Talladega, tracks that are called super speedways because of how long they are. They're like over 2 miles, I think, is super speedway. And these cars, or these tracks, are what are called restrictor plate racing. And they put a thing called a restrictor plate in everybody's car that essentially makes everyone's car around the same performance-wise. And those are the fastest tracks. Back when Jeff used to race, they would go around these tracks 200, 205 miles an hour. Nowadays, 190 maybe around these tracks. Yeah, these guys are pissed. Ain't nothing that Jason can say to defend that move. How Straub made it into ARCA is beyond me. Daytona's, it's tough for me in the draft. Alright. Made a few enemies. So we'll have to not be so aggressive.